Ever wonder where Filipino culture is taking over the US? From sizzling lechon and karaoke battles to thriving businesses and communities, Filipinos aren't just moving. They're shaping entire cities. Filipinos aren't just moving to the US. They're transforming entire neighborhoods, turning quiet suburbs into buzzing barangays and city streets into pockets of Manila. The aroma of sizzling sisig, jeepney-inspired murals, and titas gossiping over Halo Halo. Yeah, it feels like a second homeland. But what's fueling this unstoppable wave of migration? Which cities are becoming little Filipino hubs in the heart of America? And which one is practically overflowing with Filipino culture? Stick around, because the answers might surprise you. Ever strolled through Chicago and caught the unmistakable scent of sizzling lumpia? Or spotted a Jollibee line stretching around the block? Congratulations! You've just stumbled upon Filipino America in the windy city Chicago. Isn't just deep dish pizza and jazz. It's home to over 110,000 Filipinos building thriving communities, one pot of adobo at a time. Ask a local about Filipinos here, and the first thing they'll mention? Nurses. It all started in the late 60s, when a wave of skilled Filipino medical professionals arrived after US immigration laws changed. Today, walk into any Chicago hospital, and chances are a Filipino nurse is there, caring for patients with warmth and dedication. It's in the DNA of Chicago's Filipino story. But this community isn't just about hospitals. It's a cultural powerhouse. Take the Fiesta Pinoy festival, for instance, a sea of barongs. Impromptu karaoke battles, where your tita swears he sounds like Bruno Mars. And some of the best homemade pancit you'll ever taste. Every October, Filipino American History Month turns the city into a full-blown fiesta, keeping younger generations connected to their roots while sharing Filipino culture with everyone else. Chicago has a Filipino heartbeat, and it's impossible to miss. So next time you're in the Windy City, follow the sound of Tagalog, the smell of garlic rice, and the laughter of a community that has truly made this place their own. Now picture this: the sizzle of tocino on a hot pan, the smell of fresh pandesal floating through the air, the sound of kabayans breaking into an impromptu karaoke battle outside a Filipino restaurant. You're not in Manila, you're in Riverside, California. Here, the Filipino community isn't just surviving, it's thriving and taking over. With over 116,000 Filipinos calling this area home, it's like a slice of the Philippines has been planted right in Southern California. Why Riverside? Why not LA or San Diego? That story's coming up, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. Meet Rica, a 32-year-old nurse from Quezon City. She had two dreams: to build a better life in the US and to never lose touch with her Filipino roots. But when she first landed in California, reality hit hard. LA rent was sky high. Everything felt too fast, too foreign. She needed a place that felt like home. And then she found Riverside. Within weeks, she was working at a hospital where Tagalog filled the break rooms, potlucks were the norm, and a sense of community made her feel like she had never left the Philippines at all. Rica's story isn't just about survival, it's about thriving in a new world. Her apartment, filled with trays of sinigang, lumpia, and adobo, and neighbors who quickly became family, inviting her over for lechon every holiday. She wasn't just adjusting, she was building a life surrounded by her culture, her people, her home away from home. And Rica is just one of thousands of Filipinos making their mark in Riverside, San Bernardino. Nurses, caregivers, engineers, entrepreneurs, creating a Filipino empire in Southern California. Step into Riverside, San Bernardino, and you can feel it. Seafood City is packed every weekend. Moms haggling over fresh bangus, kids begging for chocnut at the checkout. Tita-run restaurants serve sizzling sisig and Halo Halo, bringing the flavors of home to every street corner. Filipino festivals turn parks into mini Manilas, complete with tinikling, OPM concerts, and epic lechon showdowns. Balikbayan boxes pile up at LBC, stuffed with spam, sneakers, and letters home. Here, being Filipino isn't just about ancestry. It's about where you live and who you share it with. Why Riverside San Bernardino? Simple, affordable homes, job opportunities in healthcare, tech and business, and a tight-knit community where a simple "Kumusta?" instantly feels like home. It's the perfect mix of the American dream and Filipino tradition. But Riverside is just the beginning. Next, we head to a city where Filipinos don't just blend in. They dominate a city where the culture runs so deep, it might as well be Manila itself. Smash that like button, because you won't want to miss what comes next. Seattle rainy skies, strong coffee, and a Filipino presence that can't be ignored. Nearly 126,000 Filipinos call Seattle home, making it a living, breathing slice of the Philippines. Walk through Beacon Hill, and you'll hear Tagalog on street corners. Step into a Filipino restaurant in White Center, and the aroma of adobo and sinigang hits you like a warm hug. Seattle didn't become this overnight. It took generations of grit, sacrifice, and sheer determination. Filipino immigrants first arrived in the 1920s with nothing but hope and work ethic, slaving away in Alaskan canneries, toiling in Washington's agriculture fields, enduring freezing conditions for pennies. Yet from those struggles, they built something incredible: communities, businesses, and support networks that shaped the city. From nurses in hospitals to entrepreneurs launching restaurants and tech startups, Filipinos have left their mark everywhere. Take Lolo Ben, who arrived in the 1970s with a suitcase and a dream. He worked 3 jobs, slept on a couch in a friend's apartment, sent every extra dollar back home. 10 years of sacrifice later, he opened a tiny sari-sari store, then a restaurant, then a second restaurant. Today, his family owns 3 businesses and employs dozens, a legacy of hustle, sacrifice, and success. And Lolo Ben's story? It's far from unique. Seattle isn't just a place to live. It's a home away from home, with Filipino markets, churches, and community centers everywhere. Job opportunities abound, support networks thrive, and the food alone is enough to stay. From steaming sisig at Hood Famous to pancit at Oriental Mart, this city tastes like the Philippines. But buckle up, because the next city on our list, it's even bigger, busier, and more Filipino than you can imagine. We're talking entire neighborhoods lined with Filipino businesses, streets that feel like Manila, and a community that's alive, thriving, and impossible to ignore. Hold up, San Jose, the city everyone associates with tech, startups, and Silicon Valley dreams. Yeah, it's also home to 142,000 Filipino Americans. Crazy, right? When you think Silicon Valley, you think Google, Apple, Tesla, but Filipinos, absolutely. And not just surviving, they're thriving and leading the way. Take Ramon. He arrived 10 years ago with nothing but a backpack and a dream. Fast forward, and he's now leading a team at one of Silicon Valley's biggest tech firms. He's not just coding, he's shaping the future of technology, and he's far from alone. Filipino engineers, developers, and entrepreneurs are turning San Jose into a Filipino tech powerhouse. But San Jose isn't just about work, it's a full-blown cultural hub. Family-run restaurants serve up mind-blowing lechon and halo. Fiestas light up the streets with karaoke battles, OPM concerts, and endless celebrations of family, culture, and success. San Jose is now a launchpad for the next generation of Filipino innovators, and it's exploding with opportunity. Next up, Las Vegas. Yep, Sin City. Who would have thought? 148,000 Filipinos call this city home, and they aren't just living. They're running the show behind the glitz and glamour hotels, casinos, restaurants, entertainment venues. They depend on Filipino talent to keep things moving. Take Liza, who arrived with nothing but hope today. She's managing a casino floor, calling the shots in a high-stakes environment dominated by industry power players. And Vegas isn't just about work. Walk through certain neighborhoods, and it feels like Manila. Filipino bakeries, restaurants, endless karaoke, and a strong sense of community. The Filipino influence here is unmistakable and only growing. Now let's talk San Diego. Blindfold me, drop me in National City, and I'd think I landed in Manila. Over 202,000 Filipinos live here, and their presence is everywhere. From Jollibee lines to Filipino supermarkets, mechanic shops, and community gatherings, the US Navy played a huge role in bringing Filipinos here. But today, it's a thriving, self-sustaining community of nurses, teachers, entrepreneurs, and families. People like Tito Ben, who came in the 80s with a duffel bag and a dream, now running a Filipino food truck and staying undefeated in family karaoke nights. San Diego is Filipino culture thriving in America. And now, Honolulu, Hawaii. Paradise? Sure. But did you know 225,000 Filipinos live here? That's practically a Filipino province in the middle of the Pacific, in neighborhoods like Waipahu, Kalihe, and Iwa Beach. Filipino life is everywhere. Tahoe vendors, pandesal bakeries, karaoke battles, and family-run restaurants. People like Ate Maridez arrived thinking they'd stay a year. They've now built thriving businesses and families, shaping Honolulu's culture for decades. Filipino influence here is deep, historic, and undeniable. Next stop, New York City. Chaos? Absolutely. Fast, loud, crowded, but also home to 237,000 Filipinos. Hospitals, Wall Street, Broadway. Filipinos are everywhere, and they've carved out vibrant cultural pockets in Queens, Brooklyn, and Manhattan. Take Kuya Jamar, who arrived with $200 and a dream. Today, he's a nurse by day, DJ by night, and still finds time for Filipino food at Jeepney or Maharlika NYC. Even has a Filipino parade on Madison Avenue, celebrating culture, community, and pride like a Manny Pacquiao fight night. Now the Bay Area, over 313,000 Filipinos live here, shaping the region's culture, cuisine, and history. Daly City is a Filipino stronghold where Jollibee is on speed dial. Karaoke is competitive sport, and community ties are unbreakable. Filipino influence runs deep, from south of Market to the Filipino Cultural District, keeping traditions alive through festivals like the Adobo Festival. And finally, Los Angeles. Nearly 570,000 Filipinos call LA home. That's 500,000 people, more than some islands in the Philippines. LA isn't just a city with Filipinos anymore. It's basically Metro Manila with better freeways. From historic Filipino town, Hi-Fi, to Eagle Rock, Carson, and West Covina, the Filipino community thrives. Markets, restaurants, community centers, and cultural hubs keep the culture alive. Filipinos here aren't just surviving, they're dominating entertainment, entrepreneurship, and the city's social scene. So now I have to ask, if you're Filipino in LA, what's your go-to spot for lechon or halo halo? Drop it in the comments. I know you've got strong opinions.